The wrestling world just experienced something absolutely insane, and if you haven't seen what just went down, you need to watch this video until the very end because I'm going to break down every single moment of what might be the biggest comeback in recent memory, and trust me, you don't want to miss any details, so make sure you hit that subscribe button right now because we're about to dive into the craziest wrestling storyline unfolding. The arena was packed to the brim with thousands of fans screaming at the top of their lungs when suddenly the lights went out completely. The entire stadium fell into total darkness and nobody knew what was happening. Then it happened. The music hit and the crowd absolutely erupted like nothing you've ever heard before. Roman Reigns was back. The tribal chief made his grand entrance walking down the ramp with an intensity that sent shivers down everyone's spine in that building. The way he carried himself showed that he was ready for war and everyone could feel the electricity in the air. But here's where it gets absolutely wild. Roman wasn't alone. As he reached the ring, another figure emerged from the darkness. A new member of the Shield appeared by his side and the crowd went completely insane. This wasn't just any comeback, this was the formation of something completely unexpected and dangerous. The new Shield member stood tall next to Roman Reigns and together they looked absolutely unstoppable. The two warriors entered the ring with fire in their eyes and purpose in their hearts. Seth Rollins was already waiting in the ring with his faction, and when he saw Roman Reigns return with a new Shield member, his face went pale. Seth realized immediately that this was going to be a problem for everything he'd been building. The two sides stood across from each other in the ring, staring each other down with pure intensity. Seth and his crew had been dominating the landscape, but now everything was about to change in ways nobody could have predicted. The tension in that arena was suffocating. You could cut it with a knife. Roman Reigns pointed directly at Seth Rollins and the message was crystal clear. This was personal. This was about reclaiming what belonged to him. Seth Rollins stepped forward with his entire faction behind him, showing that he wasn't backing down from anyone. The two sides were ready to explode at any moment and the fans were on the edge of their seats waiting for the eruption. Then it started. Roman Reigns and his new Shield partner charged forward and absolute chaos erupted inside that ring. The violence was instantaneous and brutal. Bodies were flying everywhere and the referee was struggling to maintain any kind of control. Roman went directly for Seth Rollins and the two titans began exchanging blows that sounded like thunder. Each punch echoed through the arena with devastating power. Seth's crew tried to help him but the new Shield member took them on single-handedly and dominated every single one of them. The new Shield member moved with incredible athleticism and precision. Every move was calculated and devastating. This person had been trained at the highest level and it showed in every single action. The combination of raw power and technical skill was truly something special. The fans were on their feet losing their minds watching this unfold in real time. This was the kind of moment that gets replayed forever. Roman Reigns had Seth Rollins down on the mat and he wasn't showing any mercy whatsoever. He pounded Seth relentlessly, and Seth was covering up trying to protect himself from the onslaught. Roman's dominance was complete and total. Seth's faction was scattered around the ring either down or retreating from the assault. The new Shield member stood tall in the corner watching their partner dismantle Seth Rollins with pure authority and strength. The referee was desperately trying to separate Roman and Seth but Roman wasn't done yet. He lifted Seth up and delivered a massive move that shook the entire ring. The impact was so strong that you could feel it throughout the stadium. Seth hit the canvas hard and stayed there. The crowd erupted into thunderous applause and cheers. Roman Reigns stood tall in the ring, his chest heaving from the exertion of battle. The new Shield member walked over and stood beside Roman Reigns as both warriors stood victorious over Seth Rollins and what remained of his faction. The message was sent loud and clear to the entire roster. The Shield was back and they were stronger than ever. Anyone who had business with Roman Reigns was about to find out exactly what that meant in the hardest way possible. Seth Rollins slowly rolled out of the ring, beaten and frustrated. His faction regrouped around him but they had just witnessed firsthand what it meant to step into the ring with Roman Reigns and his new Shield partner. The momentum had completely shifted. The landscape of professional wrestling had just changed dramatically in a matter of minutes. Everyone in that arena knew they had just witnessed history unfolding right before their eyes. Roman Reigns looked directly at the camera with intensity burning in his eyes. He raised his arms to the roaring crowd and the fans chanted his name over and over again. The new Shield member did the same and together they soaked in the moment. This was their time. This was their era. Nobody was going to stop what was coming next and everyone knew it. The implications of this return were massive. With Roman Reigns back with a new Shield member by his side, the entire wrestling world needed to prepare for what was coming. Every wrestler on the roster was now on notice that the game had changed. The power dynamic had shifted completely and new alliances would need to be formed to challenge what Roman Reigns and his team were about to build. If you love this breakdown of the most insane wrestling moment, please smash that subscribe button right now so you never miss another incredible story like this one. Leave a comment down below telling me what you think about Roman Reigns' return and who you think his new Shield member is going to be.